Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and man, we're gonna have a fun show today. We're probably gonna check out some of the markets and do what we normally do. Looks like we may very well have some special guests, of course. It's Crypto Paradise and a DeFi Rhino DeFi. That's the way we're gonna go. So it's DeFi today, and of course we're gonna have some of the best teams on PulseChain. While we wait for our guests to arrive, we're gonna get into the usual updates. Get into the chat there. We got a few people in the house already. DG and Hexagon, big shout out there as well. I like little Superman, looking good. We got Hexagrator in the house as well. Hey gang, big shout out to Hexagrator. Always crushing it every day. Appreciate that, Hexagrator. We got Christine as well. Hey Christine, hope you're doing well also. And of course, welcome to the chat. Nice and early for sure, and definitely smash the likes out. Let's get actually the show out and share the show around, right? So let's do that. And let me just get the link for the show, and let me pin that to the top of the X account as well. If you guys haven't shared it, it'd be great if you can share the show. And let me just get the link there. So let me pop that up, and bam, let's go. So share the show, share show on X, and that'd be great. So bam, let's push that out. So let me drop down there. There's the link. So yeah, just take a moment to repost that on X. And of course, if you're on YouTube, hit the share button. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels, of course, and on X as well. So big shout out to all the supporters. Really do appreciate it a lot. All right, let's see who else has jumped in the chat there. We've got Brian. Big shout out to Brian, one of our moderators. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Hope you're having a good time there up in good old, are you still up in New York State, I guess? So big shout out there. Hedgehog as well in the house there. Woo! Looking good there, Hedgehog. Looking nice and green like that haircut that you've just had. The haircut's pretty crazy. And we got Blair in the house as well. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Hope you're doing well also. Whoop, whoop, says Blair. Whoop, whoop. And yeah, we've got Blair. You got on 2 accounts there, Blair. You're on 2 accounts. Yeah, definitely share the show out there, folks. And let's get straight into it as we wait for our guests to arrive from Crypto Paradise and, of course, RhinoFi there. Looking forward to that. All right, so let's jump into some of the news. And let's get into that. So we're going to quickly cover the stock markets. Let me just pull up the right screen here. Bam. And let's go. So here we got the S&P 500 slumps as jobs data stokes economic jitters. Now, the job data is some questions have been raised by President Donald Trump, of course, around the wild swings in the numbers, and the adjustments are massive. Really weird how massive the number jumps are. And of course, he is looking to fire the chief there. So we'll see what happens with that. It was pretty bizarre. Just the adjustment on the numbers was really huge. Of course, the market didn't like that so much because of course, dampening down employment may signal one key factor into potential interest rate cuts, though, for September. So that would fuel that. Obviously, we're waiting for more inflation and things like that to come in, but definitely a possibility. We've got the Dow Jones at the moment down 1.2% at 542 points down. So quite a down day. Obviously, we also had the tariffs get put on many nations. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. A lot of people getting smashed with the 15%, 20%, and even 50% tariffs. We see the S&P 500 down 1.6%, 100 points, and NASDAQ down 2.2% at 472 points. So wiping out a bit of the gains that we've been seeing in this record-breaking run. We've got the US dollar is at 98.4. That is down 1.3% as well. And getting to commodities, we've got West Texas at the moment, $67. So that's down almost 3%, guys. Almost 3%. That's pretty massive. Brent oil there down 3% as well, down $2.26 to $69.44. So that's going to be good at the pump, though, right? Good at the pump. We've got gold at the moment up 2%. $67 to $3,415, and silver up 1% as well to $37.10. That's where we are on the commodities, guys. That's where we are on the commodities. And like I say, payrolls there added only 73,000 rolls last month, below the expectations of 106,000, while the June figure was revised to an additional 14,000 from the original 147,000. How could they get it so wrong? How could they get the numbers so wild? That's pretty wild. Numbers there. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Unemployment rose to 4.2% from 4.1%. Now, just remember we had this big GDP number, 3%, come in following a dip in the first quarter, having a good, strong second quarter. So we're getting some pretty interesting numbers coming out here. Pretty wild, pretty, opposite each other. And, of course, analysts from CIBC said Ouch, that was not good. There were massive negative revisions over the prior 2 months, negative 258,000 jobs. So it's a pretty wild from a data set, I think, that wiped out a big chunk of job growth, including the bump in state and local government hiring from last month. So that was in play. The manufacturing sector is now showing much more weakness than the prior data revealed. Today's report shows a different picture of the job market than Jay Powell spoke about earlier this week and raising the probability of an earlier Fed move. That being said, it depends on how sticky inflation proves in the next few reports and, of course, further weakness in the job market. After all, the unemployment is still at reasonable level, and one report, however bad, won't be enough to fully convert all the hawks. Now, the one thing we're going to say about that, we're expecting pretty bullish rally continue with the U.S. economy expanding. Should give a lot more jobs moving into Q3, Q4, and especially into Q1, 2, and 3 next year as Trump's golden age policies start to take effect. And of course, we've seen Scott Bessent talk about that exactly. In fact, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, has been even building up the stablecoin impact of the Genius Act, even talking about $4 trillion now numbers out there by 2030. I mean, we're about to re-rate just massive, 20x in stablecoins up until 2030. That is the projection there from Treasury Secretary. So we're looking for some pretty big things. And of course, probably within 2 years, we could be up at 4-5% plus economic growth as well. So keep a lookout for that. This might just be that last little blip. And of course, maybe there's some issues with how the stats are being formatted there by the stats team, and maybe if there's any politics going on as well. So that's kind of play there at the moment. We need accurate job numbers, Trump wrote on Truth Social. I've directed my team to fire this Biden political appointee immediately. Like you guys know, so the Democrats have been using the courts, particularly radical court judges in particular states like California, New York, places like that, to try and stop with federal judges a lot of Trump's policies. Now, a lot of those have lost in the Supreme Court, and they've kicked that back to the White House to give them the powers that the president has. So we've had a bit of that politicking going on. The other side of things, of course, is what is their last main thing, right? They've got the Federal Reserve. They've still got that chock full of enough Democrats to be able to do that, like Jerome Powell, a fervent Democrat. And then, of course, we also have the deep state, right? That is really their last big play, is the deep state within the different organizations, what they have left to undermine Trump's agenda, right? They do that in many ways. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. So Trump's still dealing with these sort of last mile things, but has already done a pretty big blow on many fronts to the Democrats and the deep state. And of course, we saw with USAID, right, that the Democrats have run out of money. They were funding their whole regime, the ideological indoctrination of the people and their power grab through USAID and all the other state departments. And of course, that's starting to crumble. So Trump is moving on all fronts. So there is a lot of good progress going there, but it's not yet done, right? And of course, that's what we want to see. We also see the fourth estate being pulled down as well, and slowly and surely. And it's going to be fun to see where we go there. We see a lot of liberals now supporting Trump, and of course, we know Sachs, the AI czar, they're a bunch of liberals, but now they're all pretty much supporting Trump now too. So it's pretty much game on, right? So it's a liberal and conservative alliance. What is left of the liberals, which is kind of, one might argue, part of the mainstream that got squeezed out, and of course the Democrats have gone so far left with Marxists, progressives, and globalists that they really didn't care. It was all about power grab, right? And so games have changed. There's a lot of politics now involved in this move, and of course Trump's trying to underpin it, right? We all obviously see that in the West. We see all the Western powers, trying to undermine Trump as well. We've got New Zealand, my own country, does that. They're a bunch of real losers. And then, of course, Australia, Canada, UK, Europe, we see a lot of this sort of politicking going on where the globalists will not give up. And, of course, they're putting authoritarian policies in place in their own countries, right? Because that's something they control. So we're up against that. So, good times in America. And you guys have the First Amendment. I cannot tell you how powerful the First Amendment is. We already see that the US will be challenging the UK with their a digital censor law coming up. And of course, that is just 1986. It's very Orwellian. And you're lucky in America. All I can say that much. And of course, we're hoping for the best here. We're hoping for the best here in New Zealand. But we've really got a little hope. We've got one guy which is starting to stand up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So anyway, we've got all that stuff happening with data and what is truth and all that sort of stuff going on there. Trump is clearing shop, and I think it's a good thing. So pretty cool. Now, we don't really know what Jerome Powell is going to do in September. The market is expecting, or part of the market, at least 40%, is expecting a rate cut by them, but we really don't know what Jerome Powell is going to do. So we'll have to keep, track on that. So that's pretty much it. Now, also, Trump signed in an executive order. Of course, that's moved markets down dramatically, suddenly shifting gear. And, of course, we had that 1st of August deadline. And then, of course, he's placed tariffs on 50% on dozens of countries. So as weeks of negotiation delays, the deadline for the reciprocal tariffs arrived. Now, the reason why is because he's up against these progressive globalist Marxist governments. And of course, they were playing politicking, trying to, take Trump as a bluff. Of course, Trump doesn't bluff, and so it was pretty bad. So as well. So not bad there. We need Leak to join, says Debita. I did post the link to the Crypto Paradise guys to send you guys. So it looks like that hasn't gone through. So let me get that here for you and post that to you guys. Let me pick that up. All right, so let's see here. Let's go back in. I'm just going to do some admin, guys, so just bear with me. Let me see here. Kryptonite show, and I think we saw Jolly Roger, so we're going to send that to you. I'm going to send you a DM on that one. So hopefully you got access to that and you can get into the studio. And if you could share that around to your team, if you've got more people in your team, there, Jolly Roger coming on, they're really cool. I'm taking that your DBeater. All right, let's see what else is going on. We've got a couple other comments in the chat there. Hey, good to see you. Welcome to DeBita and the RhinoFi guys. Crypto Bro in the house there, reposted the stream. Hey, appreciate that, Crypto Bro. Big shout out. Welcome to the evolution. Indeed. Sean O'Malley there says, buy the dips. Last chance, ladies. Last chance. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so hopefully that helps. Bam. Let's see what else. We've got any other comments in here? I don't know if we've got any other comments. Let's see. We're just jumping up here a little bit here. Hope everyone else has got access there. So yeah, let me know, Debita. I think I've given I sent it to Jolly Roger there. All right. Just checking the messages. So at least I'm on time. I'm on time at least. So let's move on. Let's go forward, guys, with the rest of it, and we'll wait for our guest to arrive. And of course, let's see what else we got going. So that's pretty much where we are at the moment. So 50% tariffs on Brazil. Trump increased tariffs on Canada 35%, and of course also many other countries. Like I say, New Zealand got a tariff letter. So we thought we were going to get 10%. We ended up with 15%. Cause our Prime Minister and our Deputy Prime Minister play silly games, right? They play silly games. They both hate Trump. They're both globalists, Marxist, progressives, and they're both wrecking New Zealand, unfortunately. There's nothing much we can do about that. It's a democracy, which they've overthrown pretty much with their power and just whatever they want, right? Now imagine getting into government. You get democracy, you get in there, and then you just do whatever you want. You don't have a mandate for it. There's no mandate. It wasn't part of the election. And then you go just do whatever you want. That's what we get from these globalists and Marxists, right? And then they just put in ideology and put in apartheid and all sorts of things. I mean, it's so ridiculous what they've done to our country. And so here we are right now. We've got the rest of the countries, of course, getting a lot of different policies put on them. Mexico, interestingly enough, got a 90-day reprieve. How about that? So obviously Mexico's a little bit different. And so there's 9-day reprieve there for that forge agreement. And I just want to say that the Canada 35% tariffs as well is just on the non-USMCA ones, I think it is. So just on the goods that aren't covered there. So that is probably where we are at the moment. We obviously had some of the Magnificent Seven report as well. And so we've sort of been going through that for earnings season on crypto also. So that's kind of the play at the moment on the old markets. Let's see where the market's expecting the interest rates to go. So we'll quickly talk about that. 6 weeks and 4 days and 17 hours to go until the Fed meeting on the 17th. We now have a switch. So we've flipped from 50% or something like that, expecting a no change in interest rates. It's now gone to 78% on that employment data, those jobs data there. So that's pretty interesting. So we've flipped now to 78% now, expecting a rate cut, plus with the resignation and a potential appointment from Trump as well. That is where we are right now. So pretty cool. It looks like we've got our first guest jumped in here. So big shout out to Derek's coming in. I've got to set up the studio, but that is where we are right now, which is probably perfect because we're going to be getting into some crypto commentary and have a good discussion with the guys as they come in. So let me set this all up. And if you guys aren't in there in the chat, get in the chat there. Let's know you got any questions for RhinoFi or Crypto Paradise as well, and put that in the chat now as we go. So let me just set this up, and bam, let's go. So we're going to add Derek on the screen there. It's got to do some modifications, and let's go. Bam. All right. So we've got a few other placeholders here as well. I might get rid of those. And let's just do a little bit of formatting here. This is the movie magic, guys, the movie magic, and looking good there. So, all right. Sweet. All right. So we've got Derek in the house for RhinoFi. So we're going to get into probably some good chats and get into some other stuff like that. But let me just quickly, what other format have I got there? I might bring Derek up there in the middle at the moment, and we'll wait for some of the Crypto Paradise guys to arrive and go for gold there. So welcome, Derek. Welcome to the chat. You got your mic on. Have you got mic? Mic test. Mic test. Yeah, can't hear the mic at the moment, but we've got Amaru in the house as well, so we're going to set that up too. So just while Derek's getting his mic working there, and let's go for gold. So I can hear you now, Derek. Perfect. Now I'm just going to add Amaru from Crypto Paradise, guys. I can see he's peeking through. I've got to see Amaru's peeking through there, and we're going to add him to the mix. So let's do that now. So Amaru from Crypto Paradise, and of course we're going to probably have someone else jump in as well. So welcome, Amaru. Good to see you.
Hey, yeah, good to see you guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can hear you. Oh, we can see you. We can see you.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Apologies, I don't have my normal setup going because that's in like the room that's next to where my daughter sleeps because it's night. I'm here, but yeah. Anyway, happy to be here. I'm on my phone.
I appreciate that. Good to see you anyway, and welcome to the show, and welcome to Derek as well from RhinoFi as well. Doing some amazing things on that chart there, RhinoFi. Man, it's looking good.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Thanks for having us.
That's very good. So we might move Amaru in the middle there, and then we'll, if anyone else arrives, we'll jump them in there as well. We could have one or two other guests. So very cool. So we'll probably talk about your chart right now, RhinoFi. It's just on the move. So and you've got your charging is about to be unleashed as well. Is that right?
Yes. We are days away from our first buy and burn kicking in. And it's Tuesday at 2:00 is when the buy and burn contract starts. So we're very excited to see what that does to our chart. It takes the way we're known as a combat token. So we're a tax token with a twist where our charging wallet has half the supply and it collects half the rewards from the taxes. Yeah. And then at the end of that cycle, it takes all those rewards that are earned and puts it into a buy and burn contract that is then spread out over the following 28 days while the charging wallet continues to earn throughout the cycle. It runs simultaneously. So the charging wallet feeds the buy and burn contract, and then the charging wallet continues to earn while the buy and burn buys and burns Rhino off the market. So that's
Is the buy and burn on fixed periods, or is it kind of randomized?
It's every 30 minutes, and it's split up over 28 days. So there's not going to be like a front run event, but you know, you might want to get your position now before it starts. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And it's a user called function. It's decentralized. So you can go on there and click the button, and then you get a reward for doing so.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're really excited to see what happens when that thing kicks on.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to paste the RhinoFi contract in the chat there if people want to check it out. It's got different tokenomics to a lot of projects too, which makes it kind of special. And you got your charging event coming up in what, 3 days, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The countdown's happening. I'll tell you right now what it is. Oops. Exactly. 3 days and 16 hours from now.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I've been posting a couple of posts about the charging getting up there, a couple of days there as well. Sorry about that. Amaru coming in with some comments. But yeah, that's coming up there in only about 3 days. So exciting. What do you expect to happen there? Just a continuation of the chart on the upside there?
That's what we're hoping. I mean, we should have, our goal for this cycle is 500 million pulse.
Yeah.
And right now, we are at, let's see, 421 million. So the volume is picking up right now as people are kind of getting their positions for the buy and burn cycle.
Okay.
So, we're hoping to have close to goal or hit goal, which is 500 million pulse. So and if pulse keeps going up, then it's really going to be powerful when it kicks in. And if we can get our ratio going up against pulse, then when pulse starts ripping again, things will be looking awesome.
It's going to be pretty exciting. I have been watching the chart on a daily basis, so just to let you know, I've just been tracking it.
Yeah, we had a phenomenal launch. So we had a dynamic sell tax. It started at 25%, and our launch actually got delayed one day because we had to make sure everything was right. And there was over 300 bots waiting because people saw that we had added liquidity, but the contract wasn't live yet. So there was over 300 bots waiting to buy when we turned the contract on. So all those bots exited at paying a 25% tax on the way out, and it brought in a lot of revenue for the protocol. So it kickstarted our the charging cycle, and looks like we're going to hit goal going into cycle 2 in the buy and burn and work like a champ. So that sell tax is going to be going down to 6 and 6. Buy sell at least 6% once the cycle's over. So it did its job through the launch phase. Harvested a lot of pulse rewards from that, and it's working beautifully. It's going really well. We're thankful.
It's looking amazing. So we're going to try and bring that up. So let's do that now, and have a look at RhinoFi and enjoy the chart. It's pretty good. So to sit there on the daily. So looking really good there. 009652 right now.
Yeah, we're just at about $1 million in market cap. Couldn't be happier with that. But that launch was pretty intense. It was a lot of fun. And if the bots all came in and ran the price up when they sold, they paid the tax on the way out. Thank you very much. So, and it's really going to reward long-term holders, because the long-term holders that are still here are going to get the benefits of the buy and burn. So, I kind of expect to see this type of launch being mimicked in the future because it's worked so well. And hopefully there'll be more combat tokens coming out in the future, because really it's just about protecting holders, providing value long-term, and just providing rewards and price appreciation is what we're hoping to do. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to get in. Is it how did your team come up with sort of tokenomics? What's a little bit of background by your team and about how you could have came together with the tokenomics and your kind of the purpose and things of your project?
Right. So Jolly Roger and I have been friends for 15 years. Been in crypto a long time. I got totally housed in 2017.
Yeah.
I got out of crypto for a long time. Came back with Hex, and have just been, PulseChain sacrificer, PulseX sacrificer. Joined a lot of different groups on PulseChain. So I'm in No Permissions with Randy Larsky. I'm in Access Alive, Crispy Man, Sloth.
Right. Yeah, all the guys. Yeah.
So I've been, being part of that community, learning from them. Just really got the hankering to build something. We kind of went through all the issues that we saw in the market with, when the token volume goes down, how can you protect your investors, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of went through each different problem that we saw in the market, and we built around that, trying to build a product that would be, awesome for long-term holding.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, it's looking honestly, the chart looks fantastic. You got the charging in a couple of days. Your community is growing. You got fantastic branding. You got a good working relationship with Crypto Paradise, which is pretty exciting. It's all going pretty well from my looks.
Yeah, we've been working with Crypto Paradise. These guys are awesome. They have an awesome token, great community. We share a lot of the same values, and it just was a good fit for us to, kind of hitch our wagon to their marketing machine, and it's been great.
Yeah.
Really, they're great advisors, and it's just been a great relationship so far.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the chart there, so people can find all the socials on there as well. So if you want to definitely sign up to Telegram and get involved in the community, I think that's the best way to start. And of course, you can follow them on Twitter or X here, and also check out the website, which is pretty groovy too. We might just have a quick look at that now. It's looking pretty good. So join the stampede, and the chart looks like it's definitely stampeding. So it's looking pretty good. But you actually got the charging cycle on the website, 3 days, 16 hours to go. And that gives a bit of excitement as well.
So there's two unique things on our contracts that we'd never seen before. We had to build from the ground up. One was the charging wallet, and the other was the dynamic cell tax. So something cool about the dynamic cell tax is that it's based on the individual's wallet, not the protocol. So depending when you came in, you would have, if you were first one in, then you would have like the lowest sale tax at any point in time, right? Because it's just specific to your wallet.
Yeah.
And then the charging cycle we've never seen before. We had to really rack our brain and think about all the different variables to come up with that concept. And the guys that build the tech were our development team. Excellent development team. I mean, I couldn't thank them enough. They're really great to work with, and they're just fantastic. So everything's working as designed. It's been great. If you go to the stats, check that out. I mean, we've had a lot of Pulse distributed to the
almost a billion Pulse, and only been around for a few days, right? So
yeah.
I mean, your timing in the cycle is, it's pretty much close to perfect. Any project that's kind of launching now, 24 days ago.
It didn't hurt that Pulse decided to go up right after we launched, so that helped out a lot. And then we're in the SolidX community and the Gelato community. Chris is one of our good buddies, so that was kind of an easy way for us to market to people that we're already involved with as far as the tokens that we're burning. And so far so good. I mean, we've had 1.5% of the overall supply, but a burn for Rhino, but 50% of the supply is already in the charging wallet in a contract that's never going to be what will only happen with that will go down if we don't hit our goal of 500 million.
Yeah.
So really there's 250 million tokens in the circulating supply. So it's more like almost 6% of the circulating supply has been burnt already, which is phenomenal.
I see that you've got a Solid X here. What's the angle with that? Buying Solid X and burning that?
We're all part of that group, right? No permissions and Access Alive. We might be big bag holders. Who knows? So it's a great. We love that token. I mean, Solid X is in one of your Magnificent Seven, right?
Yeah, that's right. You've been listening closely. Yeah, that's right.
I've been watching you for years, by the way.
Fantastic! All right, I appreciate that.
To be on here with you.
Yeah.
And then Gelato, Chris has been an advisor to us. We've also participated in his token. He's an awesome person to know and be friends with, and so those were kind of easy decisions for us on how we wanted to start out. And those are things that we're going to be rolling out a DAO, and we're going to be able to switch our protocol actually has 8 different reward tokens that we can choose from.
Okay.
And SolidX is one, Gelato, Hex, PulseX, eHex, Inc, Gelato, and Pulse, right? And Rhino can be one of them as well. So, depending on the season or whatever the market is calling for, we can switch those rewards up, which is going to be a DAO function in the future. And then we're also going to be, if you go to enter dashboard on the drop down upper right,
yeah,
or manage LP, sorry.
Manage LP, yep.
Yeah. So we have adapt, which you can provide liquidity with Rhino in like all these 28 different pairs. So
fantastic.
We realize that we're pretty late to the game as far as a tax token, but we have the charging cycle and whatnot. We're like, hey, we need a way for users to provide liquidity so we can get our web out there, so that we can get bot volume, AMM volume for fees in the future. So that was kind of the strategy on that.
Okay.
So we have a ton of pairs. We want a really big, thick liquidity.
Yeah, I see that. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. Very cool. And you got the charging cycle tab here as well.
Right. So as you can see where we're at right now, when the cycle ends, it's going to be, so buy Rhino with Pulse, that amount is going to go into the buy and burn contract on the top row, right where it says 0. So if it were to end today, 421 million would be put into that buy and burn contract. So we'll see how far we get. I hope we surpass the goal. And then that will kick into the buying contract or the buy and burn contract. And then the charging cycle keeps on going and earning cycle after cycle. And it just repeats. And, whatever the charging cycle ends up with after 28 days, kicks in the buy and burn, and then it continues on month after month.
Nice. I like it. It's great. And then this chart's going to get a lot more love, in there.
I mean, that's the goal, So hopefully, if we get 500 million, that's probably close to $30,000 of buy pressure over the month.
Yeah.
That gets deployed, it gets divided up into 30-minute increments of every day for 28 days. And so it should just be a nice crawl up. That's what we're hoping for.
100%. That's very exciting. Got a few comments here. Welcome, Nick, to the chat, of course. Hi, everyone. Out of the loop. Good to see you again. Hey, Pulsebated. Great to see you in the chat there as well. Looking very, very cool. It looks like we've got someone dropped a whole ton of memberships. A big shout out to Foxy there. 5 Kryptonite Show memberships. Big shout out. We got Blobfish King getting one. GGN as well. Harry Williams. Big shout out. And Marmite and a Big Bully as well. So congratulations on your Kryptonite Show memberships. And special thanks to Foxy for giving those out. Awesome stuff. Crypto Pro says building incentivized webs. Let's chat. There we go. There's a little contact there, Derek, there for that one. So
nice.
All right. So looking good there. Hey, Nick, welcome to the chat. And
what's going on?
Yeah, good to see you. Crypto Paradise in the house along with Amaru. So big shout out there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know what I missed. I had the time zones wrong. I just got back from golfing for a buddy's birthday. Shot a pretty good round, so I was hoping to see a little more green on the charts when we got back. Just like I touched all the green grass. But we're here to talk PulseChain, talk RhinoFi, talk the Surf token with Crypto Paradise. So another great show with you here. So shout out to everybody watching.
Yeah, great. It's great. So we got the PulseChain chart in front of us after we've just been talking about RhinoFi, getting a good overview from Derek on that one. And RhinoFi's looking really hot as well, so it's good. And we got some good drum music. And we got the weekly on PulseChain. I saw you give out a little video update earlier, Nick. So you got some chart patterns about the cup and handle, where we might be going to next. This is the chart at the moment that I use, just as with moving averages and the RSI. What's your view? Maybe you can transpose some of that onto your commentary here.
Yeah, I mean, the cup and handle is what I was looking for, and we gave a buy down around 25.85. That was the handle for the cup. We met the target on the cup and handle right around 4,000, and we had some consolidation there and continued higher. So now on a bigger time frame, I'm looking at like an Adam and Eve. When this is a pullback, this could get as deep as 4,200 and still be good, still be bullish, with upside targets of 6,900 to 7,250 would be the next stop. Nice. And things look good. I mean, up only season for PulseChain is close. You had Richard Hart warn you. You're seeing an influx of capital come across the Liberty Swap bridge, and you see bullish chart pattern play out off the lows over and over. You had the small cup and handle, then you had the ascending triangle, and now you're working on an Adam and Eve. And these targets just continue to get higher. And every time you just do a minor reset, things look good. So from a TA perspective and from some of these patterns, things are playing out almost too perfect to where it's like either other people are seeing this as well, or Richard Hart has said that he knows how to paint a chart, and he's painting it almost perfect if you're looking at these measured moves. So higher for PulseChain. Obviously, we're seeing some weakness in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but PulseChain can still, give up another 5% drop and still remain bullish, and this is just a bullish retest of that breakout level.
No, fantastic insights. Yeah, I did repost that clip because it was really, really good, and perfect time on this little run that we had, a little bit of pullback. People wondering what's going on next, and I think you answered it really well in that little clip. So if you guys haven't seen that, check out obviously Crypto Paradise, Nick Hellman, Amaru, and of course on the Crypto Night Show we posted that out. Now we got the weekly candle right here. So I got weekly candles. We got this big long-term downtrend, and we punched through it in the last couple of days, and just wondering where you think that might be going to now. Obviously, we've got about 2 days left by my counts on this weekly candle to finish over that long-term resistance there and the angular downline there that we've been in. What's your thoughts on that? Obviously, you just said that the downside might be 42, 4,300, but the upside could be 69. And so do you think we're going to, more probable than not, that we're going to make it over that line? Or
I think for that downtrend line, I think Richard Hart himself is probably watching that candle very closely. So I think he might even try to artificially pump it if Ethereum remains weak over this duration. I don't know how much longer we got to that closes, but I think we still got a little bit of time here. And I would like to close above that, obviously, and that would play in perfectly with an Adam and an Eve target around that 7,000 level. So I think Richard Hart knows what he's doing. He knows the time is now to get this rolling, and hopefully the broader market kind of helps us out here. Like I said, I was surprised to come back from golf and see Bitcoin here at 113. But even on Bitcoin, if you look at my Bitcoin TA I've been putting out, downside support is around 12,500, and we're wicking not even quite there, but close to that level. This still looks like a big bull flag for me on Bitcoin with an upside objective around 132,000, 133.5. So I'm not worried here yet. If we start breaking out some of those lower levels, maybe we need to reevaluate, but I'm still leaning bullish, and I know Crypto Amaru is as well.
Yeah. Bringing Amaru, big welcome, of course. And what's your thoughts, Amaru, on some of this price action?
Always bullish. Always bullish. Always bullish on crypto. Because my time horizon is years. My time horizon is years. So I look, do I know where it's going to be tomorrow? No. Do I give a shit? No. Because I'm not planning on selling tomorrow. So that's what I always preach. Nick's the TA guy. He got that stuff down pat. He's got his trading group. They're making money. Plenty of, they're making tons of wins, doing what they do. I'm just a long-term holder. So, I'm a simple guy. So I'm not too worried really at all about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and even PulseChain. Honestly, I think PulseChain is going to be just fine. I don't know if Richard Hart is going to be the guy that steps in or just the wider market, but I think PulseChain's highly, highly, highly undervalued, no matter how you slice it. And when Ethereum's back above, 4,800, 5,000, and it's, price discovery, PulseChain's going to be much, much higher than that, as well. So, I'm not worried at all. Things are looking good. And I will say one thing before, if we get into any surf discussion, for those who are potentially interested in RhinoFi, only invest in RhinoFi if you like making passive income and if you like charts that go up. If you like getting wrecked, just stay, it's not for you. So, I'm just teasing, but no, really, I've been investing in RhinoFi since, day one, essentially, of its launch. We helped launch their token. A lot of our DAO members are invested, and it's done incredibly well, not only from a chart and price performance standpoint, but if you're providing LP, within their protocol. For instance, I'm staking and providing LP on the Surf and Rhino pair. I don't remember how much exactly I put in. Maybe it was a couple $1,000s worth of, total tokens on either side. But, making a few $100s, it seems like every week or so, just on that, the PLS that I'm earning from the rewards going out to the stakers. So, and then of course the chart, which we haven't even seen the $30,000 worth of PLS getting injected into it, which starts on Tuesday. So if you like sitting around and doing nothing and making money, well, RhinoFi is good option for you.
What a great shill that is. That's amazing. If you hate,
that's how I look at RhinoFi. I mean, honestly, it's like that's how I think about it. It's fantastic.
I think what you said might have even gone better than me wearing this hat. Like I thought all I had to do was wear the hat, but saying what you said, that was brilliant. Thank you for that. I love it.
Yeah, Pat, my pleasure. Super bullish.
That's awesome.
Let me just get some of these studio things linked up here. So just give me just a second here.
I like Albert Daniels' comment. Like that's all we need. It's the most undervalued gem in his radar, Surf and Rhino. Like we need to hire him too. I love all you guys.
All right, so we got welcome, Jolly Roger. By the way,
oh yeah, sorry, I just interjected. I didn't know the format. I should shut the fuck up. Sorry.
No, it's all good. We're enjoying your hat. That's great entertainment, but my studio syncing is not working for me at the moment, so I'm just trying to get it fixed up.
Yeah, all it did is it put a frame around me with saying that I'm on the stage, so I didn't click anything. I promise.
Yeah, and just so you guys know how Superman rolls is family friendly around here, so you know.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, it's a PG show. Yeah, PG show.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, very good.
I should have warned you beforehand. No big deal.
Yeah. Let's see if we can go back to this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just having trouble with syncing the studio transition, but let's see if it works here. All right. Well, it's not really changing. So at the moment, we've got Jolly Roger taking up the whole screen from the looks of it. Is that what we've got going?
Yeah, that's what I see.
Maybe there's something I can do on my end. Let me actually, you know what? Why don't I, because I'm the maybe I'll drop it and come back to see if it fixes it. And mysteriously, he doesn't let me.
Maybe pop out, pop back in again. Yeah, hopefully it'll probably leave a blank screen, but let's see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm going to close the window out here.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so it's left a blank screen. So having trouble there. Sorry, guys. This is what I had when I first had Nick Hellman on last time. I had an issue with the syncing for some reason. And I'm still not quite sure what caused that because I've got plenty of data available. So, that's the way it goes. Let me get rid of that. Still on there. So I can't even switch screens right now. So let me refresh the chat and see whether I have to come back in. Just one moment. Hopefully the stream keeps going.
I started talking and it just took over and wrecked the whole thing, man.
You see the PMI came out today at 48. Unbelievable.
Oh wow.
I know it went down, which is like 26 straight months of contraction. I mean, what is up with that? It's crazy.
Very interesting.
We need I thought it was going to bust through in August, but I guess we'll have to wait another month or two.
There we go.
I think I'm smaller now or off to the side.
Yeah, I've got control back. You got control back. Yay. That's
okay. Sorry about that, Superman. That was a terrible first impression. I apologize.
No, it's not. It's just a resources issue, I think. I've never had this because normally I just stream by myself and I maybe have one guest. But the software is obviously being challenged for EV Mux as well. So let me just pull up the screen again. Let's go. So you got a special spot down there, Jolly Roger. You got a special spot.
All right, I love it.
And a special glow here. You got a special glow here. So there we go.
Thank you.
For the love of God. No, so we were just talking about PulseChain. We just finished talking about RhinoFi a bit earlier. We're going to get on Surf at the moment, but I've got something I want to talk about in particular. Nick gave us some good breakdown along with Amaru around where the PulseChain is, and so we're looking forward to getting that bullish scenario continue to play out. But what I want to talk about, and I know this is close to Nick's heart because I think this is like the elephant in the room around crypto. So I'm going to bring that up too. And that is the strategic ETH reserve This thing is just going to be insane. And I just can't believe what's going to be happening with ETH price here at the moment with Bitmine in particular, but with all the entities now entering from the stock market. It blows my mind. Just look at this every time and just think of the magnitude of the impact after the Genius Act. So yeah, break it a bit down there, Nick, on this, because I think it's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty early on this. We try to predict things. We try to be early in the market. And we actually predicted the strategic Ethereum reserve would be the next narrative to drive this market before those top 3 holders were even on the list. None of them even owned Ethereum yet. It was just Ethereum Foundation, PulseChain, and Coinbase in that order. But I saw where the things were going. I saw Thomas Lee and people starting to talk about Ethereum a little more. And I really thought this would be the next narrative to drive the market. And also that's why I believed it would drive PulseChain due to liquidity bonding, the speculation on the SAC wallets and everything else. So, I mean, this is just heating up. And if you look at those numbers, Bitmine is on record saying their target is a minimum of 1 million ETH. They only have 600,000. SharpLink Gaming's target is a minimum of 1 million ETH. They have 400,000. The Ether Machine said 1 million ETH is cute. They're going for over a million ETH. They only have 300,000. Just those 3 individuals need to buy another 1.5 million Ethereum. Also, what I think people doesn't understand is people are like, oh, there's inflation on Ethereum. But when all the top holders are doing an Ethereum strategic reserve and they're earning yield and compounding that yield, the inflation number, even if it's not deflationary, is going to be so minuscule because all the inflation is going to wallets that are never going to sell. Yeah. So I think the upside potential here is massive. We're seeing more and more people come online with this. And our prediction of this becoming a reality is just getting started. That's, of course, what sent Ethereum from 1,600 to 3,900. And I think it's going to send it much higher. You know, the next target we've had on the books is 4,250. But really, once you break above 5,000, you know, that's price discovery mode. And what I think is interesting is Bitcoin is already at 2x of its previous all-time high. Ethereum is still $1,200 away from its previous all-time high. And normally in these cycles, Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin went absolutely nowhere, it's already done a 2x. Ethereum should do at least a 3, 4, 5x of its previous all-time high, which was $5,000. So, you know, I've been saying on the books, if Bitcoin went to $244,000, I think Ethereum could go to $22,035. Those are 2 big ifs. We need to see what Bitcoin does. But I think the upside potential is up there. And now you're starting to see Thomas Lee talking about $60,000 Bitcoin. You have other analysts talking about $16,000 Bitcoin. It was only a month ago that people were happy if we saw another $4,000 Bitcoin. So those numbers are starting to inch up as people see the potential of all these strategic reserve companies and how much capital they are buying and allocating to Ethereum.
Yeah, Amaru, Jolly Roger, you got thoughts on this? Because it is insane, and that's a great summary, Nick. It's just mind-boggling.
Not bullish enough. You're not bullish enough.
Not bullish enough, yeah.
Bullish enough on PulseChain. This stuff can go much higher and much faster than people realize, especially after, look, we've been through pretty nasty bear market for altcoins. Everyone's got bear market PTSD. But things can move very, very fast, as we've seen. Right? It didn't take a whole heck of a lot of adoption and buy pressure. Yeah, I mean, billions, certainly billions, but not a lot in terms of the overall market cap of Ethereum, right? To 2x the price in a matter of 30 days. So, you know, these things can go very fast. Will it be up only? No. In all likelihood, you're going to have consolidation periods. We see one today. But if you just kind of zoom out, you think ahead a little bit. Today was actually an important day, I think, because Powell was proven wrong. You know, yesterday he's out there saying, or 2 days ago, one of the press conference was, well, you know, we can't cut rates because inflation might rear its ugly head again and the labor market looks fine. Oh, really, Powell? Huh. Then why is it that they just revised the job numbers down like 75% in the last 2 months? And then the prior month that just came in well under expectation. So the labor market's cracking. And now the betting markets are suggesting that there's an 80% chance they're going to cut rates in September. We know what that means for risk assets, particularly those that are viewed as similar as like a tech stock, like an Ethereum. So yeah, we're early. We're still early in this cycle. I don't know if we hit 22,000, but I think 10,000 is, I mean, almost a conservative target for ETH at this point. What do you guys say?
Yeah, Tom Lee was talking $15,000 for this year, and that's not the top of the cycle for him. So, and I know a very famous guy, Nick Hellman, is talking about 30K And I've seen some people talk about 60K, but I think 30K is very doable, given what we've got going on here with all these institutions coming in buying Ethereum, and as Nick's saying, doing staking and more sophisticated, issuances like Strategy is, with the NAV and the issuance of leverage shares in it and all that sort of stuff, and they create a way more value on paper for themselves, don't they? That way. Jolly Roger, you got any views on this? Because this is insane, man. This is just, every time I look at it every day, I'm just going, this is just going to be crazy bull run.
It's comforting, because when you see things, because especially the guys that have been involved in PulseChain for a while, you hold on to that hopium, right? But then you want hopium to be backed with raw numbers and facts. Well, then point to the strategic reserve, and you don't need to look much further. Like, that should be a warm blanket to go to bed at night, thinking, okay, if I'm in crypto, if I'm in PulseChain, which has one of the largest strategic reserves, I'm in the right spot to catapult and slingshot. I mean, it's gonna give so much more stability and innovation, I think, on Ethereum. It's like it's setting up the future in the right way, and it's smart. So I think, I don't know. I can't say anything more bullish than what Amaru already said. So, but yeah, it's a great thing to take a look at, and I also check that page from time to time, and it always makes me feel like more positive and bullish.
All these treasury, all these T's now have been added in, and look at them all coming in. Bit Digital, BTSS. I mean, they're all just coming in. We've got a whole ton of new entrances as well. Game Square, ETH Strategy, Int Chains, and look, I think this list is going to get really big. BTC Digital coming in there. And we've got a couple of new entrants down the bottom here. I mean, you have to have at least 100 to get on the list. We've got Centurus, ETHZilla, FG Nexus, and I think we're just going to see more and more come into this list. I think it's just an opening salvo. Nick, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think what's important to reiterate, and I think a lot of people watching the show probably understand this because you're on PulseChain, and part of the selling point for PulseChain is, the leverage and speculation of ETH success. But whether you own Ethereum or not, you want to root for Ethereum, because Ethereum really drives the alt market. Whether you're on BSC network, you're on Solana, you're on Ethereum chain, you're on PulseChain, it doesn't matter. Ethereum creates risk on appetite for all coins. It gets new retail into the market that can buy your bags that you're already in because you were early, and it creates more volume. And on the case of PulseChain, there's a lot of token tax tokens that have done very well. And in order to get more momentum with those, you need to see transaction volume. That's what feeds the machines. That's what feeds the liquidity webs. And that's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah. Now, obviously, PulseChain is sitting at number 5 here. I guess it's reasonable to expect this to slowly be pushed down. For me, probably maybe down to number 10 by the time we get to sort of November, December, maybe. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Go ahead, Almaru, if you want to go.
I was going to say that would be bullish, wouldn't it? Yeah. Because it wouldn't mean, in my view, that Richard Hart's selling off his ETH, or the SAC wallet's like abandoning ETH or something like that. It would just mean that more companies accumulated a whole shit ton of ETH and came on later, which is what we've already seen, right? Like, if you look at the top 3 here, I can't actually see your screen presently, but top 2 or 3, I think, are essentially new entrants. I mean,
they're all new.
I mean, these SBAT, Bitmine, I mean, these companies are like a month old. I mean, the companies themselves existed before, but as ETH's kind of strategic reserve companies, they're new. What I think you're going to see is essentially a replication of what we saw with the Bitcoin strategic reserve companies. All the, people aren't dumb. If you were the owner of like a struggling business that's listed on the NASDAQ or wherever, right? Your core business is struggling a little bit, and you look over here and you see, oh wow, look what Bitmine did. Look what Michael Saylor did. They took their business, which was so-so. I mean, I don't even know what Michael Saylor's company actually sells. I think like some kind of software. And he like 100x the value of his company just by buying Bitcoin. So I'm going to do that. Now, is it going to work for every company? Probably not. But you're going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these, especially with the ETH one, I think, because the ETH one, you can stake the ETH to earn like a 3 or 4% yield. You can't do that on the Bitcoin ones. Yeah. So it becomes very attractive for really any company out there business might be struggling. I want to juice my stock price. I want to raise a bunch of money, buy this asset, stake it to earn more money. That's an attractive thing. So you're going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies do this. And is there going to come a day when it all comes unraveled and it all comes crashing down? I don't know. But for now, I mean, we're in bull mode, and I think you're just starting to see this. Starting to see the adoption, I should say.
Yeah.
Hey, Superman, if I want to comment instead of trying to interject or just wait for a lull, is there like a hand raise feature or no?
Just go for gold, man. Just go for gold.
Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. I wanted to comment on the fact that similar to the economy, I kind of look at the Ethereum reserve as it plays to the overall crypto market, similar to how 401ks play to the overall economy, right? So it's like when people are healthy in their 401k, they feel comfortable, even though they're not spending that money, they feel comfortable to go out and buy a house or buy a boat and make that purchase, get that new car, right? Even though they don't really have any more money, they feel that security because their 401k makes them feel stable. I feel like this Ethereum reserve does a similar impact on altcoins and other investments. It's like, okay, ETH is pumping. This is the rally cry. So I feel much more confident and confident and stable in some of these other projects have more of a bright future. And also I feel like I can maybe allocate some of those funds in other buckets. So I think we're going to see a big, and typically that's a delayed effect. And I've been involved in a couple of bull markets dating all the way back to 2012. And that's how it always works. And you always feel like it's not going to work that way. And it always does. And you still always are like, is it going to work this time? And it always does. Right. So that's how I view this reserve is similar to how the U.S. economy kind of views 401k balances.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it. With obviously we've got PulseChain sitting at number 5 at the moment. I had it at, I think if it hit 15K by the end of the year, you're sitting at $2.5 billion. I think it is. And so, if we get to $60,000 ETH in some time in the cycle or even in the future, you're looking at $10 billion. So it's a pretty nice stack there. And this is going to get a lot more press, right? I think we've seen some of the centralized exchanges put it in their vlogs now, talking about this list. And then the other thing, of course, we've got the government digital strategy coming up with the different ways of buying more Bitcoin or at least accumulating more altcoins, and obviously benefit this. And so we've got the US government down here at number 12 at the moment at 60K. So that's, I think, another key theme. And then, of course, all the traditional players like Coinbase and others, and the ETH Foundation, they are slow, and the Ethereum name service, they're sort of either spending stuff on expenses or whatever, but they're slowly going down as well. So we're seeing all this new guys come in, and a lot of the existing guys, the traditional guys, and starting to go down. And so that's probably another theme I think we're going to see, and maybe even the government, if they come out with some really good policies, start rising up there. Any thoughts on any of that sort of trends?
Well, before we move on from that, I wanted to ask Superman the treasury icon that the entities are getting. I know that they have to have at least 100 ETH in their treasury, but is that the only requirement to get that badge on the site?
That's correct, as far as I know. And all you need to be able to do is actually get in contact with them. So that's the difficulty sometimes, them responding. And so if you're a big name, you get they're obviously going to react pretty quickly. If you're a guy with 100, then if you haven't got the right contacts, most of the ones that are entering down the bottom here probably got the right contacts, and new players, and they may end up having large purchases coming up as well. I know quite a few teams are trying to get on here. Some of the Titan-X teams, which have ETH buy and burn treasuries, there's probably at least 3 of them that could get on this list, including Titan-X would end up being about number 27 at the top here if it could get listed. And I think that the guys are trying to get that to happen at the moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the last thing on this, I guess the reason that PulseChain will also probably drop is Richard Hart or that wallet, OA, Godwell, who knows, the dev, whatever you want to say.
Daddy.
Doesn't have those Ethereum staked, and that falls in line with Richard Hart doesn't like trusting middlemen. We'll keep it PG. And unfortunately, if PulseChain was staking right now, that would still probably be like number 3 or number 2, because they would have been earning somewhere around 500 ETH per month, and that would have been staking for the past year. So, it's unfortunate you're missing out on millions of dollars of revenue. Like SharpLink Gaming is making over 500 ETH a month from passive income. But that's another reason they'll fall down. A lot of the other treasury companies are putting that Ethereum to work to get DeFi yield and then compounding that yield versus the PulseChain Stack wallet, at least to this point, has not tried to earn any yield with that Ethereum holding.
Yeah. So, I mean, the other thing is, there's the old Hex AA lobby ETH running around somewhere, somewhere out there too. Obviously, people have made different analysis of how big Richard Hart's, Bitcoin mining from 2011 is ETH mining from 2016, and all the fork copies and all that. So there's lots of all that sitting out there. Also, as you mentioned earlier, the OA coins that he obviously controls 90-95%. And of course, he's just staked a lot of it, right, for lower inflation. This is some really big game things here. And let's not forget that he got the PulseChain stack on this strategic reserve early. So as you guys were pointing out earlier, I think Amara as well, that he's been making moves, and but the Pulse chart, it's going to be fun to see where that heads. Now, just before I get you to comment on that, there's a guy out there called CryptoSolve, you may be familiar with, does an analysis of chain movements, and he was looking at the recent Liberty Swap movements, and he saw that a lot of those, in his opinion, after his analysis, was a lot of retail buying this market up on that move. So, you got many comments to say on any of those things that I just mentioned there?
I haven't seen that chain analysis, but that would be good to see, because that means that there definitely was some injected capital from Richard Hart. Like, I guarantee there was. But it's good to see that there was a lot of smaller transactions. I think I saw that pop up on the thread. A lot of them were between $100 to $600 or $100 to $6,000. It was all which would be retail, which is good to see, because that just shows you it does not take many green candles to get people to see and want to get onboarded to a new opportunity to make the gains. And people are already coming across the bridge. Obviously, Crypto Paradise has been trying to get people across the bridge. First with PTGC, then with the Surf token, then with the RhinoFi and Vox and the emit farms and some of these other things, because they're seeing the opportunity. Plus, we're talking about it in the shows, we're talking about it in the private groups, like, oh, we just made more gains or made this. Like, people get the FOMO. They're going to chase the green candles. And now with Liberty Swap, you can literally, with a couple clicks, go from virtually any EVM compatible chain to PulseChain, very low fee, almost instantaneous, and you can do up to $6,000 per transaction. No KYC. So that's what you want to see. And it's working flawlessly already. And I think it's just starting to warm up.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting to see. I'm just going to be adding someone into the studio here, because we're going to get this moving. But
if you guys want for me to if you guys ever want for me to contact Richard Hart and tell him to pull some of that money from ETH into PulseChain, just let me know, and I'll text him. It's something it's been on my list, but just tell me how many millions of dollars you want me to tell him to bring in, and then we'll coordinate it.
Let me buy a little more Surf and Rhino first, and then let him know. So give us a couple days here to accumulate a bit more, if you don't mind.
Just give me the signal. we're bowling partners.
Hey, look, we're gonna call Richard, and we're gonna get him on the show. Don't worry, it's coming. But wait, he might arrive any time. You just never know. Who's that? Oh, okay. Wait, Richard. Wait in the green room. Right in the green room.
I'm having Howard Stern flashbacks. We got to get the door knocking.
Yeah. So, talking about that, because I want to get into Surf token. I want to talk about that next up. But just all this stuff is so bullish. Richard Hart making a lot of moves this year. And we've also obviously had all these ETH institutions now wanting to buy millions of ETH. I mean, that's what we're probably huge amount. I mean, 35% is around. I think ETH is staked. There's only 120 million ETH, and these guys, we've gone from 100,000 ETH on that list to 2.2 million or something. And these guys want to get probably, I mean, on those institutions, maybe 10 to 15, 20 million. I mean, it's some big numbers. It's just crazy. All right, so let me I'm going to pull up that. I'm going to pull up the charts. So for Surf token, and just let me know what you guys think about anything else in the macro picture that haven't discussed yet. Obviously, we had big tariff slaps by the Trump administration. Where do you think that might be going?
Well, I think that's a story that will be forgotten by Monday.
Yeah.
What we saw happen with the tariffs is, okay, initial shock. Oh my God, tariffs. It's not something had been a part of U.S. policy, trade policy for years. Trump went heavy initially, but we obviously learned that was a part of the negotiations. So I think this story is basically old news. They continue to announce deals too, by the way. So it's not like massive tariffs across the board. Some are, some countries are getting 15%, some are getting higher, but a lot of them, these deals are getting negotiated. So I don't think that was the cause of the crash. Maybe a little bit today. I think, the thing that we need to look out for is how bad is this labor market going to get over the next few months? That's my greater fear. And then what's the Fed response going to be? And we've been on record saying this is playing out exactly like last summer when Powell dragged his feet, refused to cut rates, and then in September was essentially forced to do a jumbo cut, or maybe it was political, do a jumbo cut. So does that happen? Does that play out again? I don't know. But we could be in line for a jumbo cut, a 50 basis point cut in September. But I think at a minimum, we're going to get a 25 basis point cut. So, yeah, a little bit of volatility here and, FUD around tariffs. But remember, markets were all-time highs. All the stock markets were all-time highs. Bitcoin is all-time highs. Okay, Ethereum wasn't, but it's heading that way. So a little bit of a correction here, a little bit of a cooling off period is completely normal. And I think, next week, these tariffs are going to be completely forgotten.
Yeah. I see there's a 90-day extension on Mexico as well. So giving them a bit more room, which I thought was unusual, but it's I guess a closer relationship with all the car production and everything else, the labor.
Well, yeah. No, I'll tell you what it is, because I follow this pretty closely. I got a condo down in Mexico. Yeah. So I follow. Trump likes the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum. He does not like the president of Canada, Mark Carney.
Right.
It's pretty obvious what's going on here. Because Mark Carney's kind of being an asshole, and he's not really playing the game with Trump, and I think the president of Mexico is. So that's really what because he's going heavy on Canada, and it's just hilarious. Meanwhile, Mexico's getting the soft treatment. So it's this is what you get with Trump. But hey, it's kind of working. It's kind of working. We were talking on our show earlier. It's kind of working. Like the markets look great. Gas prices down. Egg prices are down. You can go on and on about the wins. The Israel-Iran war got resolved. So you say what you will about him. I mean, it seems like things are going pretty good.
Yeah. We also saw we have seen a ton of trade deals in the top 10. It's all going pretty well. And like I said, I think agree with you guys. It's all going to be forgotten pretty quickly, even with a little bit of an ongoing tail end of the tariffs story going. And I think we're going to look forward to the digital strategy playing out for crypto, or August, September, October. That's going to be more bullish fuel for crypto. It's going to be pretty good. Hey, let's bring up the Surf token and check that out as well. So let me jump back there. And let's pull it up. So you got to surf the wave, and I got a suggestion for you guys. So let's talk about that. So this is a surf token. How do you feel about? I got the 21 EMA on it on the daily. So let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing there is on my chart, I'm looking at a bullish falling wedge, and we broke out of that to the upside, and right now is a retest of that breakout level, which means that you should be somewhere around support. And then I look at your chart, and it's sitting right on an MA as well. So I like to see confluence in charts. That's good confluence. Obviously, what slowed down the breakout was also PulseChain and everything else going down a bit. But we're here for the long term. We're confident in continued success with the Surf token. Starting next week, we're going to have a dashboard that's going to be live on the website, similar to like look into PTGC for those of you who knows.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, awesome.
You can see the daily burns. You can see the daily buybacks. You can see what fees are being accrued, how much the DAO has, and you can speculate more and know what's going on behind the scenes, which I think for me, that's one of the biggest selling points of PTGC. I'm a big analytical guy. And whenever I'm in doubt, I pull up that dashboard and I see what the buy and burns were. And I'm like, okay, over time, when you have buy and burns, you're going to raise floor prices of assets. You're going to make them more scarce. And also when you have benevolent teams where their bags aren't moving, you can watch that on chain when their no expectation wallets are buying more of the asset. And we're actually doing a DeFi yield strategy. Obviously, we're utilizing RhinoFi. We're utilizing Vox, Emit farms, Rage, a bunch of different farms that are producing us daily yield. And once the dashboard is live, we're going to start doing buybacks and burns with all of our yield on chain and get hyper deflationary performance from the surf. So there's already buy and burns going on, programmed by the smart contract based on the trading taxes. But we're going to level that up. And instead of keeping the DeFi yield, we're just going to do buybacks and burns with that as well moving forward. And then also in the month of August, we're helping 2 other projects that will be launching on PulseChain. One is an RWA play that has $1 million of real world property in glamping domes. So you're going to be bringing real estate yield to PulseChain, and a percentage of their transaction taxes will buy and burn Surf Forever. And then we're also helping a Bear AI, which is an AI product suite they were going to launch on Base. They actually switched all their code base to work and be integrated with PulseChain. And that whole product suite is all already live. There's going to be token utility there day one. And they're also going to be buying and burning Surf with a portion of their token taxes indefinitely as well. So hopefully we can keep onboarding projects, onboarding people, communities to PulseChain, and hopefully that we can pass on that value in some kind of way to the Surf token. With RhinoFi, that happened with the buy they did of Rhino and getting into the DAO group, and we also paired LP heavily with them. So as Rhino has success, it's going to help drag Surf higher. And with these other tokens, they're going to be indefinitely buying and burning the Surf token. So they have their own project, their own team, their own community, and the Surf holders will benefit from that floor price and their success as well.
Fantastic. Amri, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Nick sort of hit the nail on the head on a lot of respects. I'm actually going to step outside because I don't want to wake my family up. Sure. But one of the things that I want to elaborate further on, and that is the kind of the core business of Crypto Paradise and how it relates to the Surf token, right? So, because Nick mentioned that we're helping launch a few projects, Yak DAO, the glamping one, the RWA play, I should say, Bear AI. That's our core business, right? Our core business is advisory and marketing. And so, what we're trying to do here is marry those businesses with the Surf token. And that could be through helping projects launch on PulseChain and having their tokens paired with Surf, or having buyback and burn functionality. Or it could be something as simple as projects come to us for marketing support. They're coming to us at $100,000 market caps. Those projects have a lot of upside potential as we see it. And then we make a call to the Surf DAO group, which is an exclusive group that's sort of a subgroup, you could say, of the Crypto Paradise wider community. It takes 200,000 Surf tokens to get in there. But then you get access to these alpha calls. You get access to projects like RhinoFi early. Our community knew about it before anybody else, for the most part, right? And so it's kind of that marriage of the marketing, the advisory, those core businesses, and then tying it back to the token, and just doing it for the benefit of the entire Crypto Paradise community and all the Surf token holders.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, honestly, there's no team like your team on PulseChain. 100%. You guys doing just about everything, and I think that you guys are so professional. It is. I mean, for me, it was someone who's covered PulseChain every single day, just about. It was a breath of fresh air to see you guys hit the PulseChain and doing what you guys are doing. It's been fantastic. You obviously anchored around that DAO. That's the Surf token right there. And the DAO is pretty awesome. And I tell you what, I do like just going to the DAO. I do like just trying to remember where it is here. I do love these tiers that you guys have. I really do like this idea. And you got 200,000 Surf, I think it is, to get into the tier 1, and it goes all the way up to tier 10. And I guess that anchors a lot of the stuff that you guys do with new partners, doing new launches, and then you've got lots of giveaways as well, like retreats and stuff like that. And I wanted to talk about the retreat part, but just go through a little bit how your DAO works, because it's pretty exciting, some of the stuff you guys passing through to your members.
Yeah,
Nick, you want to?
Sure. Yeah, 200,000 Surf or more to be in the DAO group. The DAO not only gets to vote how the DAO wallet spends its funds, and so far the DAO has voted to add LP every single time. There's another, I think, $6,000 in the DAO right now, and we're deciding what LPs to deploy that to. So half of that will go to a Surf buy, and the other half will go to the other side of the PulseChain asset. Mm-hmm. But then also with that, it's kind of an alpha call group. So if we're about to do marketing with a project or about to help a project launch like RhinoFi, we give everybody a heads up. We try to make sure they get the contract address as early as they can and get early positions to give them the best opportunity to win this cycle and win on any assets that we think can do well Obviously, we have conviction in our marketing prowess and our ability to do due diligence. And it's not just PulseChain projects. We call the FCK 9 to 5. We'll keep it PG. They're a movement coin that we call at 300K market cap. It just recently ran to 8 million market cap. So if you're on the Dow, you did pretty well. Yeah. We call it the Substance and the Dose token. That is a movement coin. We call that at 100K market cap. It went to 1.2 million. So you did pretty well. So that's part of the value there. And I think another thing, talking about the retreats, if you have 200,000 surf or more and you're in the Dow, Jolly Roger, you need to take advantage of this and wear the Rhino hat down there. You get offered a free 3-night stay at the Paradise Pad in Tulum, Mexico. You have 200,000 surf, you can stay for free at the condo that's 10 minutes from the beach down in Tulum, Mexico. All we ask is you do some content around that, talk about Crypto Paradise, maybe talk about surf and what you got going on. So that's another good perk. And then the last thing I want to mention, and maybe I missed some things, Crypto Room, is 400,000 surf. We noticed some accumulation. A lot of people are trying to get to that tier. And that's because we have been part of this something called the Frontier Fund, which is a leverage trading hedge fund that's been going on now for about 6 months. And it's averaging over 15% a month after fees to investors. And in order to get into that due to high demand, you need 400,000 surf or more. And the next round is going to open in the first or second week of August to get into that. And, that's been a great opportunity to put a portion of your portfolio into somebody else's hands. They trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and you get monthly payouts if you want. And like I said, it's been 15% per month, every month after fees for 6 months running. So that's just some of the opportunities that we try to give. As the bull market heats up, you're going to get more alpha calls because we're going to get more people wanting to market. We're going to get some more insight and some more info with some of these teams. And there's going to be more projects like RhinoFi that are launching that are going to do very well and go up into the right. And you're going to be one of the early buyers. You're going to be able to get in there at 40K, 100K market cap and ride these things to millions as this market heats up.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, they won't be quite like RhinoFi because we're original, but they'll try, and that's.
The other big thing that you guys do is you guys do a couple of shows. You do daily shows now, which is fantastic, but you also do X Spaces and other stuff like that. How's that going? How's that in terms of reach and engagement and topics that you guys?
I mean, we're a marketing business, first and foremost, and so spaces, live streams, recorded videos, short form videos, that's our bread and butter, right? Yeah. The live streams, the daily live streams, are a relatively new thing. We felt like, okay, market's heating up, time to put the foot on the gas pedal and bring as much value as we can to our community and to the wider crypto space. And it's going incredibly well, I'd say. We're averaging, 600, 700, 800 views every single day across X and YouTube for these live streams. Yeah. So fantastic. And they're long form. It's us chatting for an hour about the markets and particular altcoins and, politics and just life in general. And it's been resonating very well. And I think it's been a big value add for projects like RhinoFi, for example, because we're obviously investing in RhinoFi or working with RhinoFi. So we get to talk about RhinoFi every day, or, not every day, but, every other day, something notable happens. We check out the chart, do an analysis, talk about the catalysts that are coming. Oh, charging cycle's coming, $30,000 buy, get in now, blah, blah, blah. So it's been going really well. I think it's going to continue to grow. My vision for Crypto Paradise, by the way, the website's getting a full overhaul. I don't know, Nick, you may not know that, but the designers were going to overhaul of the site, to kind of capture what Crypto Paradise has sort of evolved into, which is I view it as a crypto marketing lifestyle brand. So it's not just about us being KOLs; it's much bigger than that now. So I think the viewership's going to continue to grow, the channel's going to continue to grow. Follower count, all that stuff. So it's early days, Crypto Paradise, but yeah, things are going very well thus far, I'd say.
And Superman, I had the same first. So Derek brought these guys to me and said, "Hey, man, this might be some good timing," and he just was really impressed with how these surf guys just basically came into PulseChain and understood the culture, adopted it, and fit right in. And a lot of people don't really get it, right? So these guys. And the quality of their content, the quality of their approach, it's just like we felt lucky to be able to partner with them in a marketing capacity. And we also feel like we're getting I accumulate surf whenever I see a dip as well. Like I've got my own little bag aside from my Dow bag. But yeah, I really can't say enough good things about these guys. And it's like, rising tides, all ships kind of thing. I feel like we're in the right boat together, and these guys have a lot. I mean, I feel like they haven't even caught on to a fraction of the potential that they're putting out there.
Well, oh yeah, I agree. Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
excited about it.
they're going to be one of the best names, the best well-known names in PulseChain. I think by the time they're done, if that's their goal.
I think they've already hit the ground running with a huge percentage of engagement in the PulseChain community is coming out from Crypto Paradise. They've already anchored themselves super strong, and like I said to you, I think they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm really excited about that. Now,
to be fair, I mean, Nick was a PulseChain OG from really the get go. So that's, I mean, I'm more of a newcomer to be perfectly frank, but he's been part of that community PulseChain for a long time. But appreciate those kind words, Roger, and both Roger and Eric are DAO members. Both those guys are DAO members. We value them, and Rhino's been a great win for us too. So it's been very symbiotic in that sense. But we're just getting warmed up, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
Nick, sorry about that. I forgot you're an OG. All right, yeah. Were you a pulse sacrificer, or were you a hex guy?
No, I wasn't a hex guy. I missed that. So I was just kind of a pulse sacrificer, and then I didn't. I was kind of quiet on PulseChain at first. Obviously, I saw the potential, but really, I kind of was an outcast when it came to that because I was like, telling my group like, I don't know if I want to own the blue chips, but I do want to own PTGC. So, kind of got outcasted there for a little bit because I went into PTGC, kind of got rid of all the blue chips, and PTGC's been one of the best performing assets on chain. Now I think people are starting to understand how PTGC still benefits the blue chips. It's seen as the index of PulseChain. It's buying blue chips and adding to liquidity. It's buying and burning blue chips. And a lot of these liquidity webs and token tax systems are doing the same thing. I think people kind of had the maxi mindset because you're a hexakin and then PulseChain maxi or RH token tickers only. And that's fine. But you don't want to dismiss or call every single altcoin on your chain a scam, because in order for any layer one or any network to flourish is you need network activity and network effect. And that comes from developers building protocols, building projects, building tokens. And now you even have Richard Hart telling you to build memes with the launch of Pup Tires. So I think people are starting to open up their eyes. Look, you don't got to own every single altcoin. You don't got to own Rhino. You don't got to own Surf. I think you should, but you don't have to. You don't have to own PTGC. But you have to understand how they are impacting the network that you want to survive and thrive, and how they are benefiting the blue chips that you own. And when they're benevolent with token tax systems that are constantly buying and adding LP, constantly buying and burning tokens, blue chips included, that helps your floor price, that helps your network, and that helps your investment. And that's why you don't need to own them, but don't dismiss them. Don't call everything a scam, and don't have jealousy bug when they do well. That's all I got to say on that.
I think we saw Liberty Swap launch what was a Peacock coin today or something like that. That's been the big one on the channel. So they keep putting little things in their pictures, and then suddenly they appear.
Nick, with that sermon, you just got my vote for PulseChain president. Okay,
there we go.
Yeah, I mean Richard Hart's gonna be CEO, but I think.
We got a few people in the chat here. We got Tyndell. Big shout out to Tyndell. He's really big in the PulseChain community, so big shout out to Tyndell. We got Crypto Bro. He's pretty much the biggest, I think, incentive protocol ecosystem on Nexian farms. So big shout out to Crypto Bro. Big shout out there. And I think you guys, he's talking about having we're down a bit further down here. A Radon Rage farm is already in play, is it? Yeah, that looks pretty good. A Surf Rage farm. There we go. On Nexian's already live, so check that out. And what else we got here? We got another comment here as well. I think we had Goo God, another founder in the house. Big shout out there, Goo God. The king is here, and the queen, and all the rest of them. They're looking pretty good. Big shout out there, Goo God. And I think we've also got another founder here, Heartwood Dog. Yeah, good old Hog is here. If you don't know, if you guys check out the anime series, but amazing stuff. And I think chapter 11's out now, so big shout out to Heartwood Dog in the chat there also. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff there. Albert says Surf and Rhino are still the most undervalued gems in my radar there. That's from Albert. So nice. Some good comments there. And of course, I think we had Crypto MVS, our promotional lead at the Crypto Night Show, editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread, which is crushing it out there as well every week. I think we're up to week 13, can you believe it? And hitting well over 30,000 views now of dedicated PulseChain viewers. So big shout out there, Crypto MVS. Keep up the great work. And yeah, we've got Brendan, our TA guy, in the house there, here for the alpha. And yeah, they've been dropping it, that's for sure. So some good people in the community. And that brings me on to my suggestion for you guys for Crypto Paradise is that you have this wonderful holiday pad. I would love to see once you guys have, I think you got a retreat coming up, is that right? Yeah, I'd love to see a lot of video clips coming out from that because you guys are just have. So, I saw a little clip of yours some time back. I think you were sitting on a lake or something, and I just thought, man, that is so good. That is so much fun, and I'd love to see sort of fun clips like that out from you guys. So I know you're probably going to do it anyway, but it's just something I thought was ultra cool. Yeah.
Actually, later this month, myself and Crypto Amaru are going down to the Paradise Pad in Tulum with our families to do some scouting for the retreat that will happen. The first annual Crypto Paradise retreat will happen at the end of this year. Yeah. You have to be a Surf DAO member, 200,000 Surf or more. That will give you priority access to that and a discount on that and everything else. And we're hoping to, get people from behind the screen and make it more of a networking effect. I don't know if you guys have been to events or conferences before, but when you go to them, they're a little overwhelming as far as there's a ton of people there. Not much good networking really happens, and all the networking happens at the side events afterwards over a beer at a bar. So we want to just skip all the corporate nonsense. That's kind of what Bitcoin conferences have become, and get a group of 20, 30 people to get down to Tulum, Mexico all together. We're scouting some spots. Have some fun, network, playing what the future is, see what people are doing with their own token, what they're doing with PulseChain, different networks, get some KOLs down there, and really get from behind the screens and have a good time, have a good weekend. And that's part of what Crypto Paradise is about, and that's what the first retreat is going to be. So you kind of got the alpha. More information is coming. I think there's already been 15 or 17 people who already signed up with the form, said they want to go. Awesome. They have enough surf to go. And, of course, we're going to try to get some faces that down there as well. So if anybody on this or anybody watching this is interested in that, stay tuned, let us know, and let's try to get some builders together, try to get some influencers together, have a good time, brainstorm how we can all win together down in Tulum, Mexico at the Paradise Pad.
Well, that's fantastic. Man, you guys are crushing it out there. And if you guys haven't checked out Surf Token, and of course get into that DAO, become a member, and join the journey with these guys during the bull market ahead. I think it's going to be pretty amazing. Lots of partnerships, lots of new launches, lots of benefits in there, and one of the hottest performances, I think, on PulseChain so far.
I want to say one more thing, but you brought up MVS with the Monster Thread. The Monster Thread has been growing very good, and I think why you're getting a lot of views now is it seems like the past 2 weeks, Somni has actually pulled up the Monster Thread and read through and discussed some of the topics that you had in there. And the reason that got on my radar is people are snipping it and tagging me, because he pulled up, talking about Crypto Paradise. He pulled up talking about Rhino. So that's really cool to see. That's how the brand grows. And also you talking about, wrapping up a week in PulseChain, you're getting a lot of people to quote tweet that, retweet that, and comment on that, because it does touch point with so many different projects and so many different influences.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm sure MBS does as well. So, yeah, lots of stuff, more stuff coming out from the Crypto Night Show in terms of publications and different ways of growing the PulseChain community and playing our part in that. It is pretty exciting. So I guess we'll get the final words. We're coming up to an hour and a half. We've got a really great audience watching right now. Had some good comments. Jolly Roger, I'll start with you. Final words.
Oh, I just appreciate you guys having us on. We built what we feel is the best project we possibly could with the best possible people, talented individuals. If you want the best behind the project, we've got some of the best developers and the best marketing. And we really thought through and took our time with this protocol. So we'd love to grow our family and community. So RhinoFi.win, it's got all the information. And thanks for hearing us out and having us on. Hopefully we can do it again. And I can be in on the actual RhinoFi part and the rest of it.
And thanks to Derek, I think was on there representing. So he did a great job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and hey, look, people are going to ask where they can get a RhinoFi hat like yours. I'm sure it's going to be the case. So.
Hey, we're going to be releasing a DAO, and it's going to be one of the incentives.
Yeah. Your merch will stand out. Your merch will stand out. I can tell you that.
Right.
That's pretty good. Amaru, your final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure actually getting a chance to chat with you in quote unquote in real life. I know we've gone back and forth on Telegram and our group and stuff like that, but keep up the great work. Really appreciate working with you guys. And for anyone who's interested in Crypto Paradise, join the Telegram, check out the X account, check out our YouTube. Watch a live stream or two if you like the vibe. We'd love to have you part of the journey.
Yeah, fantastic. Nick.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't sleep on the upside potential of PulseChain and some of the best altcoins that are being built over there, whether that's Surf, Rhino, PTGC, or any of the other ones that we talk about on a daily basis. I know that you've dropped a lot of good ones recently that you're watching, so that I have them start on my watch list. If you want to learn more about Crypto Paradise, because it's kind of hard to encapsulate everything that we do, just go to cryptoparadise.net, start clicking around on the tabs. You'll get a feel for it, and I'm sure somewhere on one of those tabs, you'll find a benefit, you'll find some alpha, and you'll get rewarded for being a part of the community. So hope to see you guys there. Hope to see you guys riding this wave together. And PulseChain upside is massive this cycle.
And Superman, I forgot to mention, you guys probably talked about it. We do have three days, 14 hours, 58 minutes, and 9 seconds before the charging cycle begins this epic journey that we're on. So really, it's all been leading up to that. And that dump that dump of economic energy from the launch is delayed into that. So 3 days, 14 hours, 57 minutes, and 52 seconds. So
that's awesome, man. We're looking forward to your charging countdown. Keep a look. We're down to almost 3 days, guys. So definitely check it out. We've got everyone in the chat there's enjoyed the show, and a big shout out to you guys. Hey, look, there's so much happening on PulseChain, Crypto Paradise, RhinoFi. They're at the frontier of it. Check them out. And look, there's so many more protocols coming. Richard Hart's on the move. Marketing's only within 3 weeks away. We've got awesome stuff with Liberty Swap and cool things like that happening. It is getting exciting. And apparently the stock market wants to buy up Ethereum. So we're happy with that too. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll have to have you guys on again soon. So looking forward to it. And, have a great time in Mexico. Mexico coming up. All right, take care.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.